it's just more like indication for it. And so here, you understand my simple summary methods of the diagnostic operations on the head. So primarily, it means that indication for head surgery.
Indication of the head surgery.
This question, it means an indication for head surgery.
What we use for head surgery?
What can make us do surgery of the head?
What can make us? How we know that this needs surgery or not?
Like that.
Yeah.
So then, primarily, the most important one of it is cerebral hemorrhage.
Hemorrhage means that bleeding come out in the person.
Yeah, bleeding inside the brain.
A hematoma.
Yeah, hemorrhage. If hematoma, it means the accumulation of clot blood
In the brain.
So it's another thing, it's another good reason, but this one can lead to hematoma. You understand? This one can lead to
muscle hemorrhage means that when there is bleeding in the brain.
Hemorrhage means bleeding.
Okay.
Hemorrhage and bleeding, same thing.
But muscle, when this bleeding, it means that maybe we don't see inside. Like that also.
No, we don't make mistake. Many people made the same mistake. It is bleeding is same. Then bleeding or hemorrhage divides into two: internal bleeding, external bleeding.
Yeah.
If this bleeding is coming out of blood vessels, but we are not seeing it, it is internal. But if this bleeding is coming out of blood vessels and it is coming out of the skin, it is external. So if you don't want to say bleeding, you can say hemorrhage. You can say internal hemorrhage, external hemorrhage.
It's same. Okay.
So primary thing, the indication that they are fasting is so this one cerebral hemorrhage. So then due to this is the main reason why they do surgical operation of the brain, and then it is usually due to trauma. You understand?
Trauma of the head, yeah.
Of the head. So another one is the what do we call it now? Let me say cerebral hematoma. Cerebral hematoma. So you know this hematoma, it is usually as a result of the thrombosis.
Clotting.
Of the cerebral vessels. Okay, another thing is going to be so these are just the major things. If there is hemorrhage, if there is this, every other condition that has to do with the brain, and then also there is another thing they call increased intracranial pressure.
How?
What do you say?
How increased intracranial pressure?
Yes, but even this one is not an indication for surgery. It is because it develops due to when there is too much blood getting out of the blood vessels into the brain. So this one is going to lead to, you understand, in the brain now there's not going to be a lot of blood in the brain, and this blood will be making pressure on the brain and the brain. So this one is increased intracranial pressure, but this is not the primary reason. It is this one develops maybe due to this or maybe due to this. You understand?
Yeah.
So, but primarily, what they just want you to understand the question. If you understand it, you'll be able to tell this diagnostics method of diagnostics of or surgical operation in the brain, right? On the head, operation on the head. And so it is the major reasons why we do this thing. And then other question they can ask you is probably those ones that we have mentioned earlier about the specific locations of the head. so, or frontal, occipital, parietal, and temporal. Those are the other things that they can ask you, that what segments or what region of the head can you remember. So if you just talk about these four, and then the meninges, because when you have any question concerning the head, you should remember this: meninges, regions,
Layers,
most important things. The meninges are the layers and the regions are the parts. So about this one.